All right, so for the first long video of 2024, we are going retro. And I don't mean retro to 2023. I'm talking about back, way back. Welcome, everybody. It is 2024. The Presidente here with you once again. Wow. It's been about a year now since I started doing these videos. Had the channel for a long time, but doing these videos, my goodness. Time flies, time flies. Some of you may wonder, did El Presidente make any New Year's resolutions? Well, he certainly did. And that one is to stop drinking during his videos. And I tell you, it's going pretty well so far. Well, guess what? We have a little bit of a retro review for you over here. I don't know, there seems to be a resurgence in vinyl, and that is records, long plays, LPs. You know, for those of you that don't grasp the concept, but this is a fairly affordable record player. It's called a turntable, but we knew it as record players back in the day. If you're just looking for a basic, well, let me back up. All right, so this is the deal. So my older boy's girlfriend gave him this record. Okay, this album. It's Garfunkel, from Simon and Garfunkel. I'll give you all a moment to digest that, you young folks. Anyway, so she gave him the LP, this album, which of course I know what it is. And I don't think he really realized what it was. I think he looked at the cover and went, oh, that's nice. But he never asked, well, is there a turntable to put it on? How do I listen to it? Did he know that it was something you could listen to, right? So I started thinking about that because I've heard a lot of people talking about getting turntables again, getting record players, and getting vinyl once again. And there's a few things that I had been looking for, a few musical items that I've been looking for that was not available on CD, that was not available on YouTube to download, not available in any streaming thing, or none of that. So the only way I could find it was on vinyl. So yeah, it's a lot of the older stuff. So I wanted to listen to it again, and I thought about it, and I said, you know what? Let me go get just a basic turntable so I can listen to some of these old records, right? And by the way, I can listen to, or he can listen to it whenever he comes back, because he's already gone back to his station. So that's where it all began. Right, so I got this wireless turntable player, wireless. When I saw that, I was like, wireless? What? What do you mean, a wireless turntable? Well, you're gonna hold the record in one area and it's gonna send it over to the turntable? What? Well, it turns out that this one has Bluetooth, so you can send it. You can send it, or send, I guess, your music from your phone or whatever over to the speaker, over the turntable, and it'll show it through the speaker. So, I mean, if that's all you have, why not? You have some music other than your records, right? So if you only have a few records and you want to pump your music through your phone to the Bluetooth on the turntable, well, you can do that. So that's you know, that's a pretty cool feature, I guess, right? Or you can play your records. So let me show you, and I have it connected to my little system in here. Let me show you what this looks like. Okay, so this is it. So it's kind of small, right? And I'm going to actually put a LP on there and play it. But if you look at this, right, and you look at the speaker, and you look at the model, the sound you think is going to come out of there is exactly correct. You are exactly right as far as what the sound is going to be. All right. So let me try to set this camera up so you can see me put the LP on there and actually play it. All right. So I know this is not the most professional camera setup in the world, right? But, yeah, you know. So the record I'm going to play on here is an old Cozy Cole jazz record. Now, why am I playing this one? This was one of the ones that I wanted to play for the longest time. Goodness gracious. My parents used to play it, and I used to fall asleep to it. So, okay, so here we go. Wait a minute. So, there you go. You see that if it's blue, it means you can do Bluetooth. Imagine that. If it's red, it's just going to come out of the speaker, right? Or it's just going to be whatever the record that is playing. At least that's the idea. Now, what I did notice is that this is kind of small. It doesn't really fit the LP. Like for the case, you can't close it, right? Unless it's a 45, which is one of the small, right? The small singles. God, I feel so old. Anyway, so this one, you can't really put it like that because it'll hit the side. So you got to kind of come at an angle and slide it in like that. Okay? Yeah. Complicated, ain't it? Woof. So, look at that, man. It turns. Like I said. As you hear it. Okay. I don't want to get into it because I know it's probably copyrighted, even though it's from 1957. But hey, yeah, no, I'm not that old. I just like hearing the older jazz. But you can feed it through. It has a RCA jack in the back, and it also has a regular aux cord in the back that you can connect from the turntable into your system like I have over here. And I do have that. And so I will show you here real quick once I pump it through the regular sound system I have here. Okay, so that is pumping through my sound system here in the little studio / bedroom that I have here. So it's not too bad. I mean, it now the little speaker from here, again, however it looks like it's gonna sound, that's exactly how it sounds. But it's still pretty cool. At least in my opinion, it's pretty cool. And it's basic enough for you to have a few records and learn about what it is to have an LP or a record player or a turntable. Now, I haven't used the feature to send Bluetooth to here, but it's your basic connecting to Bluetooth to this, and then sending whatever music or audio you want to the speakers. But again, it's going to sound like however the fidelity of this speaker is, unless you have it connected to the stereo system like I do. So if that's all you got, hey, I mean, at least you have some music. It tripped me out the first time I played it, and I was playing this exact LP which is Cozy Cole, and it just it came up like an image in my mind of a old bar, some place, late at night, and everything's in black and white. It's funny, man. But yeah, it works good. It's small, right? It's compact, but it will get the job done. I'll put the link in the description. It's cheap, like I said. Yeah, I really like it. I really like it. I think it was something like $70. For me, it was well worth it. Go back and listen to some memories. So I don't know. Let me know what y'all think. I appreciate you watching the video. Thank you so much. Here's to great 2024. I love y'all. Take care. Okay, so I got a cool little story, at least cool for me, before the memes start. I mean, you can skip over this or what have you, but I wanted to tell it because this is how things were back in the day, 70s, 80s, probably even into the 90s. So background, my brother had this band, and lots of songs, a lot of good stuff. They came out and printed out some 45s. And at the time, I was living in Costa Rica. And my brother came out, which is always a big deal for me anyway, when he'd come out to visit us. And because it meant party time and meant catching up with him. And I mean, I always looked up to him. So he brought this 45 from his band. His band's name was Bronze. And he brought several. And we took one to this place that my parents would always go to. It was kind of like a combination of general store and bar, and it was Central America. It was the 70s, 80s. It didn't matter. I was there. I was going there with my parents. I was a kid, whatever, 12, 13. But it was a place where they would always go to, and they had a jukebox there. And so my parents asked the owner, said, "Hey, is it okay if we give you our son's record and you add it to the jukebox, and so we can hear it?" And they said, "Sure." Right? And so they did. And after a few months of it being in the jukebox, when we went there, we'd always play it. And I remember the day we were just sitting there. We had arrived for a little while, and somebody else went and played my brother's song, my brother's record. And I thought that was the coolest thing ever, because here it was, and we'd go there to listen to it, but we were out in small town, very small town, out in the mountains of Costa Rica, and somebody is playing my brother's 45 on the old jukebox. It was very, very cool to me. It's hard to explain, but it was a fun time, and it was that type of place where you could do that, where you could just go and say, "Hey, could you play my 45? Could you play my brother's 45 for us?" So we all want to hear it. And sure enough, I guess somebody liked it enough that they decided to play it too. Anyway, that's my story.